Hello everyone, welcome back to another Project Gladiator weather forecast. Today I'll be covering the weather for August 3rd of 2023, and currently we have a slight risk for eastern Nevada into western Utah, into parts of southern Idaho here, as well as another marginal threat for parts of northern central Texas in the Dallas region that I likely will not cover in today's forecast. As for our threats for today, we don't have a tornado threat really for anywhere. As for wind, we do have a 15% for that slight risk region, as well as a 5% for that marginal threat region. And as for hail, we do have a 5% hail threat for small to medium hail for the slight risk region. Taking a look at our 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook, focusing on this right here, we do have Tropical Storm Gert and Cadia here, but I do want to mainly focus on this disturbance, which does have a 80% chance in the next 7 days. You can see its path is likely going to impact some of the coastal states on the Atlantic region, possibly across Florida into Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, but mainly going to impact the Caribbean and possibly Florida and the Atlantic states. I will continue to monitor this over the next couple of days, but overall, as far as tropics go, this is pretty far out, but it is definitely good to watch for updates for this, as it could potentially pose a threat to the United States over next week. Taking a look at our pivotal weather models, focusing on the slight risk region, you can see that we do have a shortwave trough, which is lingering over parts of northern California here. However, you can see the exit region where we are expected to see severe weather development is going to be primarily zonal. If you mainly focus on the area of severe development, you can see that the mid-level flow is fairly zonal, so we shouldn't really see any directional shear to support tornadoes across this region. And on top of that, the terrain across this region is going to be fairly rough, which is going to furthermore add to the lack of tornado potential across this region. But overall for this region, our main threats are going to be primarily damaging winds and small to medium hail. As you can see, this mid-level flow with the shortwave trough is fairly zonal, with the mid-level flow that is going to be in the 30 knots to the 40 knots, which will allow for elongated hodographs and allow for small to medium hail across this region. But overall, our primary threats are going to be small hail and damaging winds. This shortwave trough should also propagate eastward over the next couple of days, which will trigger severe weather development across the western United States into the northern central plains and the northern Midwest over the next couple of days. Taking a look at our dew points, you can see that we are expected to have some fairly weak overall dew points across this region. We are expected to see dew points that are going to be in the widespread upper 40s into the low 50s, which is going to lead to a fairly weak overall instability with Cape values that are probably not going to get very high. They're probably going to stay mostly around the triple digits to 1000s range, possibly getting into the 2000s. Taking a look at our temperatures, you can see that we are expected to have some fairly overall weak temperatures. We are expected to see temperatures that are going to range anywhere from the 40s into the 50s and the 60s, getting into the 70s and 80s across Idaho and Utah. This is going to significantly impact our Cape values, as these type of temperatures will definitely weaken our instability significantly, keeping our Cape values down, probably going to be in the 1000s to triple digits range. Taking a look at our instability, you can see that we are expected to have some fairly overall weak instability with Cape values that are going to be mostly around the moderate range. Instability is going to be ranging anywhere from the triple digits into the 1,500 range, possibly getting a little higher further down south, getting as high as 1,900. Mostly overall, it is going to stay around the triple digits to 1,500 range. And with this, it will definitely be able to support the possibility of small to medium hail, as well as the possibility of damaging winds. But overall, with the rough terrain and the primarily zonal flow, we aren't really expected to see the possibility of tornadoes across this region. So overall, our main threats are going to be small to medium hail and the threat of damaging winds. Now that I've told you the weather, please go down to the description and check out the socials for Project Gladiator and join the Discord for any updates on Project Gladiator. If you live in any of the areas that I covered for today, please stay weather alert for the time being, and hopefully I will be able to see you guys tomorrow with another forecast.